Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the third round of the ARC Formula 3 Championship. And we have the Monaco Grand Prix. Very much a difficulty spike if ever I saw one. The normal lead commentators are not around today, so it'll be myself, Richard Walmo, your normally AF2 commentator, and AF1 co-commentator, going for the Iron Man. But I have a new co-commentator with me in the booth today. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Tyler. I race AF2.
This is Crabtree.
Yep. Yeah, this race, I'm glad to be along for this one, because this might be one of the most eventful on the calendar in terms of crashing.
Yeah, safe to say I'm going to need somebody to help with improvisation. Because we're going to have some safety cars today. There's no way around it.
I'm expecting like half the people to make it out of like lap 15. Now, do we expect a turn 1 crash?
I think they can make it through turn 1. I think most of the crashes are just going to be a divide and conquer type thing. I think the first wreck we're going to have is into the fast left-hander of Taubec. Comes after the harbor chicane. It's where James Sands is at the moment. So we ride on board with him through the swimming pool. Up Rascasse. I forgot the name of the last turn. I know some of the corner names, but not all of them.
Yeah, me too. I think I know less than you, though.
Sandovat is the first one. There's an 11.86 for James Sands. That's in the mediums, so nowhere near the maximum speed today. I think this is Mirabeau into Casino Square.
Flyer going through swimming pool. Going into Rascasse. I'm not sure what lap this looks like. He might be able to go faster. I'm not aware. Or it might be slow. I think it's slower.
It's slower. It's going to be in the 12:43.
And this Mercedes is on a lap here. This is Aston.
Aston Lewis. He starts on the softs and he runs a 10.8, so a little more representative, but
yeah, that's not too bad of a lap. For whatever reason, when I was practicing, the softs were really hard to get like in the right window. So, pretty good lap. Now Matthew Stotts and
Bill Nowak are on outlaps.
thank you. I'm gonna see if any of the other cars are pushing. No, it doesn't seem like it. South seems like he'll be the first one to start another lap.
Stotts is going to be beginning his lap. He'll be on mediums compared to Nowak will be on softs in his first run here. He's head up to the line into San Devada corner, which seems relatively easy compared to the rest of Monaco. Up the hill, I think there's a name for the stretch that runs up the hill, but I don't know what it is. Into Mirabeau, I think is how it is said, and then Casino Square. I think that one's in English. This weird downhill right, you have to avoid that weird bump into the Lowe's hairpin. Not the Lowe's hairpin. This is not a home improvement store.
He's making a pretty good run so far, it seems like. He's really hit all his spots. Probably a few tenths off of what he could do, because you gotta hold back a little bit. Oh, and then he's in the wall.
Yeah, that'll
cursed. He's definitely gonna back into that now.
Yeah, he probably broke his wing off a little bit at least.
Okay, going into Bill's lap, he's in the tunnel. There's a car in front, hopefully that moves out of the way. Oh, the Alpine's actually... he got some time from the Alpine to sit in front of him there. There's a lot of people on laps.
Big moment there for Nowak as he head through the second part of the swimming pool. Enzo Banks has retired the car. I think that's
It was in the turn before,
Hairpin.
and Bill Noax hits a 1:11.4, setting him right in second place.
Jamie Knock went to begin his lap, but he lost
Ooh.
control. Aston Lewis with a 10-3.
And it's the same set of softs he was on earlier, so he went for a cooldown and then he ran again. That is a nice pace out of the Mercedes.
That's faster than me. It was a 10-7 in time trial.
Too.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm the commentator. I didn't wake up too long ago. I'm not in Europe, so even on a good day, 11 a.m. is kind of early for me. So my throat's not all there just yet.
So you gotta warm up.
On board with the Alpine of Collins here as he heads towards Sector 3. But you don't want to catch that curb on the first part of the swimming pool, or really just do anything slightly off balance in the swimming pool, or the car will probably not be very happy with you.
No, this pace seems to be not too fast. If this is the lap, it's gonna put him like third, maybe fourth. And
no, it's gonna put him.
1:13.4.
Yeah, that's not even
For
close to
Collins.
third. And that is a crash. Let's see here. That's invalid. That's invalid. That was weird. There's gonna be
And
Jamie Knock is about to try again. This time with more valid.
Validated. Oh, the AlphaTauri gets into the wall, loses all the wing in swimming pool. I'm not aware of it. This is Josh Stoffberg. Killed the wing on a push lap and has to bring it into the pits. Now we're at Jamie Knock, who is going for another run, it seems like.
Some bizarre.
Oh, really loose.
Too much throttle.
I don't think has damage, but is very on edge right now. And there is debris in the chicane from somebody's wing.
Anyone's guess. Could be anyone's, really.
Oh,
Kinda
I think
looks like-
that's the Alpine. Harley Collins has no wing.
Probably, yeah. A process of elimination.
So Jamie Knock going through the final corner. I don't think invalidated this one. Oh, but is spinning like crazy. I think this will put them P5.
It'll be
That's
just
right where
above
they
Collins.
Yeah,
At these
was
stats
good.
is about to
Jamie-
go and try again.
Seems like no, Jamie's not trying again.
And then speaking for the Grand Prix itself, there's probably going to be a collection of invalid laps and time penalties from this race. Turn 1 can catch people out, as can the chicane, definitely, and then the swimming pool section. It's pretty easy to cut those corners.
Yeah, going into it is where you can get your penalties. Those 3 spots are really where you rack up warnings, and they're pretty easy too as well. So I would definitely be ready to see some penalties. Pretty safe chicane from Stas.
He hasn't made a full lap yet, so safety probably is a priority at the moment, as he runs all the way over that curb that you normally never want to even get anywhere close to, but I guess maybe safety isn't being regarded here.
Going through, it seems like an okay lap, probably slots in top 4, and 4th place is where they go. Decent lap, definitely. I think that he's pushing again. He might be. He seems like he's still on hot lap still.
As Darius McGill is on his way for his next attempt. Still waiting for the old throat to warm up.
Darius spent the last lap on medium, so now is when they're going to start going through the softs. Matthew Stotts is slightly up on his time still. So he'll probably run like a 1:11.6 if he gets it right.
As McGill puts it in neutral through the hairpin.
I've seen people do that a bunch. I was surprised. The AlphaTauri of Josh Steffberg is on a lap right now through tunnel. Decent chicane from Darius. Set for a okay lap.
The game says purple in Sector 2, but that isn't always the truth.
It seems like it always says purple in the sector. Yeah, this seems like a good... Oh no! Last corner, overdrove it. Yeah, that really took the time out of that lap.
I got a piercing back in my upper lip.
She does this on purpose, ladies and gentlemen.
Huh?
So a lap that was at least set for P4 into P5 for Darius.
Didn't know that. Fun fact. Didn't know that.
I did say to wake me up at 10.
I freaking forgot. Fuck. Still. Got my piercing back
Logan
in.
Cool is on for a lap and kills the car in swimming pool.
So happy with that.
That is Logan Cool out of the session. Dead. Dead, ladies and gentlemen, in swimming pool. That was a horrible crash.
That's a sketchy
Harley-
place to park a car. I think you may get a parking fine for that.
Oh yeah. Harley Collins doesn't seem like pushing. Josh Steffberg doesn't seem like they're pushing either. I think Darius is... no, he's not pushing either, so I don't know if anyone's on a lap.
Jamie Knock
Maybe,
just began one. And just invalidated it.
Bill seems like he's on a lap as well. And so does Aston. Oh no, Aston is getting ready for a lap. So let's go on board with the first fry.
Sorry.
The one that didn't botch turn 1.
Because I'm pretty sure he's the only one on a lap at the moment.
It's Collins,
Well, it's a
just
pretty good
retires.
chicane. I think the main thing is just setting a clean lap. You don't need to be really fast, but Bill is up a decent amount. Oh, there is a Alpine with no wings sitting there.
Well, that's just totaled. That's Collins retiring or wrecking.
They're done. Okay. I also was like the Leclerc crash. So Bill
yeah.
up to the line, and a 1:10.6, and it's an invalidation.
Well, I
Pretty
don't
big
think
gap.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, pretty big gap to third though. Seems like Aston is on one right now. Pretty big gap to second, so I don't know how much you have to worry about pole being taken from you. But you probably want to set a faster lap because the one that he did set was on like 3 lap old softs.
You may as well flex if you can.
I'm assuming that was not invalidation. It seemed pretty close to one. I really like this overhead kick for this section.
James Sands was going to try and contest, but he's invalidated his lap. He has invalidated his lap.
And
Apollo
this
just
is
pits. Or not Apollo.
Is James on one right now? No.
Looks like Jamie
Knock looks
might
like-
be.
It seems like it. Yeah. It's definitely on hot lap. Throws it in the second gear, a little wide.
Better wide than an invalid, especially considering his previous lap was probably not representative at all.
Definitely. Ooh, watch out for the wall.
The wall,
Uses
it will
engine
definitely do
braking.
some damage.
Use a little bit of engine braking, gets a good final corner, a little bit of wheel spin. And
You may
that
want to
sets
consider
up
putting the differential down, but it's an 1171.
P4. Just ahead of Stotts, who I believe set his lap on a medium.
Let's see. No. Well, actually,
Yeah, Stotts
Yeah, he
and
did.
James both set theirs on mediums. Now, if you're either of these guys, like, would you be okay with P3 on medium? I feel like it's the better race tire.
I feel
But,
like
I
it's kind of overblown in a way. As Stotts almost gets blocked off by that AlphaTauri.
Stotts goes a little wide, setting up for the next corner. Goes faster by 0.2 than his other lap.
Well, that's the soft tire difference.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, you need to try and maximize your qualifying position. This is Monaco we are talking about.
It is indeed Monaco. I think the only
So,
way you could really get the mediums to work is if you're in, like, I would say second row max, and then you just have really good pace, and then you're able to overcut. But even then, it might not work.
I thought
And even
Stotts
then, if you
was
get the
just like
strategy right.
flirting with disaster with that chicane entry, but the game didn't hit him with the book, so.
Seems a little squirrely, but has it under control for the most part. Seems to be on a pretty good lap exiting the chicane. Doesn't have too much wheel spin coming to the line.
110.8.
Yeah, close to 110.9, puts him P4. And then James went faster while we were watching.
Yeah, so it made the
Thank you.
difference between first and everybody else significantly less, but ultimately I don't think Aston's under any huge pressure for that pole lap.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think the only person that really could do that may be Bill. It seemed
He's not out of the
like
pits.
He had the best. Yeah, it seemed like he had the best lap before then, but he's calling it. James is still on older tires. Stotts stayed on the track on older tires. I'm not aware if anybody's actually even going except for maybe Darius, who was on a lap.
As assuming we are not desynchronized, the session timer expires, so Darius McGill and Josh Stomberg will be the last 2 laps to be run in this session. Put it in neutral again.
Oh, yours said it expired. Mine says 20 seconds though.
You got desynchronized, probably.
Yeah, probably.
As James Sands puts away the car, everyone does the same.
Darius is slightly up on his lap. He could go for Jamie Knox's position.
He's on an AI, he's not running for it.
So no one is actually on a lap, so that'll do it for qualifying.
And he's just gonna off himself. Alright. He has chosen to die.
So that does it for qualifying. Nice starting grid, nice pace from Aston Lewis. Now does that make them the favorite? Yes, until they put it on a wall.
Is it the
But for the
Pulsators?
time being,
Pulsator is always the favorite at Monaco until they crash.
really nice pace though. Should do a decent amount with it. And I think the people that crashed out too, I feel like they have some okay pace at least. I was watching them do their outlaps, and it seemed like they had somewhat control over the car and the track. So it should be a pretty good grid for F3.
Quality over quantity, hopefully. Because we don't really have a whole lot of quantity right now. Need a drink.
Okay, so we're into the race here.
Yeah, it's a formation
Now,
lap.
do you have any any picks that are out of the ordinary from what you see? Do you have any people you think can be really good in this race?
No, I'm just kind of looking at anyone that's on the front row. Like,
Yeah. I think the top 4 seem to pull away from the rest of the pack in pace, it seemed like. Oh, here we go, I gotta leave. If you could send me an invite, that'd be nice.
you will have to retire, otherwise your AI will be driving around.
Okay, I gotta join back then. Oh yeah, because if I retire, I'll be able to spectate. Okay, that works.
Yeah, just like park it on the grid and like go. It'll be behind on like the medical car would do in real life.
So if I retire, it'll just keep it in the back, right? And then I'll just retire off the start. Is that what'll happen?
Something.
I think if I retire, I won't be in anyone's way though.
Well, that all depends. The AI does drive it forwards a little bit.
Yeah.
Anywho, as we run down the grid order for the race, you have Aston Lewis on pole, followed by Bill Nowak, James Sands, Matthew Stotts, Jamie Knock, Darius McGill, Josh Stomberg, Harley Collins, Enzo Banks making his debut, and Logan Cool making his debut.
It's not letting me take back the car.
And then whoever this Yahoo is that's in the Mercedes here.
It's not letting me take control of the car.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. And people are just quiet. That's unfortunate. I don't understand. Well. Should we... Hold on.
I just heard a knock. Goes mom upstairs, walking around. So see here, this very confusing formation lap comes to its conclusion. Not really sure how we're going to handle this Crabtree scenario. His AI might just be running around.
I have to reset, to be honest. Before we get there, I'm just going to see if he says anything.
Makes for a decent camera car, I guess. 5 red lights somewhere up there, and we are green from the Monaco Grand. Oh no, you have control of that car. It's not moving.
No, I do not.
Well, then maybe it'll retire itself.
Oh yeah, it did. I think. Is it sitting there? It is sitting in the grid.
Anyway, well, we've missed the start of the race. Because I've been... Yeah, so that'll handle that. It will just disqualify your vehicle.
Works. Yay. I see it's something.
Hopefully it gets out of the way before anyone gets there. Yeah, it's already off the track, never mind. Not even an issue. Darius McGill already up 2 places from where he started. We already have somebody with a corner cutting penalty through the up and downhill bit. That's a new one.
The up and downhill bit?
Like, you know, down the hill towards the hairpin.
Yeah.
And then through the hairpin and those 2 rights.
Bill Nowak ended up passing for the lead in the confusion. Matthew Stotts ended up gaining a position from 4th to 3rd. Darius is 4th. Anybody drop a bunch? I don't know where. Maybe James is the biggest dropper.
He's the only person that's went down more than 1 place.
And the AlphaTauri is in the pits.
There's the first victim of damage. I think he made the mistake of trying to race somebody at Monaco, and well, that's what you deserve.
It seems like what that is.
Yeah, take note of that pit strategy overlay. Yeah, take note of that pit strategy overlay, because that'll probably determine this race more than race pace will. That
so the Aston Martin didn't pit and has no wing.
Well, that's interesting.
And that's what the caution from is. They're going like 60 miles an hour.
That's what the caution from is.
Indeed. I feel like I might see retaliation. It seems like that's not what happened.
Let's say, like, I know. Excuse me. I don't. No, because he could have just.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
There
what
is
to
a
make
battle for 3rd right now because Stotts had to pit between James and Darius. It was pretty close. It seems like he's hounding the back of the Leclerc. This is the closest battle, at least.
Oh, the lead 2 are pretty fucking.
Oh, they are too.
The lead 2 are pretty close. I don't know how you didn't notice that. They're gonna send it. Oh.
2 wide of the hairpin, and the Mercedes backs out.
Yeah, the Mercedes chooses life.
Life over pride.
Yeah, and You know, we have to fight another day, and probably just get him on a pit stop or something.
Yeah, that's the main way to pass here. Very aggressive dive, but probably one of the best places to make that dive.
It's one of the
seems
only
like there's the most
places.
room. That is true. That might be a warning for the Ferrari. They're cutting
It's
it
hard to
close on
be
the
precisely. It's hard to be precisely sure whether or not it is.
Yeah, unless they just run through the chicane, and you're like, oh, that's a penalty.
As I mean, obviously, but like, I think if it's that obvious, they shouldn't even be in the league. So, unless there's some sort of reason, like a broken wing.
So, some people are in packs of 2. There is a caution sector 3. I have no idea what that was.
That's for that Aston Martin that's still up here and is blocking the leaders.
Oh, no.
I don't think this
doing?
debut is going to be lasting too much longer. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, man. And he has a wing now. He's just in the way. Blue flags are flying. Lets Bill go and lets the Mercedes go after a sector of holding them up. Now it might interfere with the McLaren and the Alpine in the hairpin. And he's holding the inside line on the hairpin. James is trying to make a peak. And use the
He's
left
like
rear as a
trying.
dash to get out of the way,
It's
but
like it's
bad.
awkward because there's
and he hits
not
the
a.
wall.
It's like
Jamie Knock.
it is partly awkward because there really is. Oh, there goes the wing. It's really hard to get out of the way at Monaco.
Oh no no no!
Yeah.
No. And he just shoulder checks Jamie Knock.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing this guy again, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is a pretty bad first
And
showing,
there
he's
he
gone
goes.
out of the session. Watch out for anybody who's in the area.
Which would be
Seventh
Logan
on
and
back.
Stott still have to make it through there. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Now that
blind
did end
corner.
up giving Jamie Knock a penalty, which will be removed, obviously, because he couldn't do anything. He just got taken out. Darluto gets a penalty. Darius. And the
AlphaTauri also
gone.
DNFs somewhere. I don't know where.
So that, and Stotts comes back into the pits again, I'm assuming for wing damage.
Yeah, I think he ran into the wall trying to not hit.
And yeah, that left end plate's gone.
I don't know where that AlphaTauri is out at all.
No, it seemed like, oh, it's,
It looks like the swimming pool. Yeah, I just saw that dot there.
yeah.
I was spectating the Mercedes as I was looking for it, so I couldn't see the dot underneath the halo of the Mercedes. I keep trying to say McLaren. No.
Darius might have slight damage, there's, wait, no, not, oh, so what happened to Bill? Bill's in
Well,
second.
he rear-ended that Aston Martin. He was the leader, remember?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if he rear-ended him, I didn't see that for sure, but...
Yeah, he absolutely
Yeah.
did.
Wing on for Bill, that kind of ruins the strategy, throwing on the hard tires, hopefully they make it to the end.
Kind of ruins a
So
lot of
now-
things.
The closest cars are Darius, McGill, James
And
Sands and
yeah. They're the only ones that are within a second of each other. Technically, Jamie
Yeah.
Knox's not that far away.
I think the first pass we'll probably see is Bill Nowak and Logan Cool, so we'll see
Yeah.
how that works. Or at least the first move. And then Stas is 20 seconds off of...
No, he's got a pit again, apparently.
And Bill comes in after one lap. Maybe, I'm not aware of what you're trying to do there. I didn't see him hit anything. And
Oh,
Stas
just
was
watched
not-
Matthew get that. Yep. Tried too
That
much
one
through
is
swimming
over
pool.
That one was legit, I assume.
Oh yeah, that was just not on track.
So Bill puts on the mediums and is probably going to race with Stats coming out of the pits. Okay, he'll be a little bit behind. And James Sands is right behind Darius and Bill. This is the closest battle. And Jamie's still there, he's kind of caught up a little bit. It's just hard to do anything with the dirty air and a DRS train.
I don't really think there's a DRS train at Monte Carlo.
It's just that straight. It just makes it even harder to pass somehow. James is pretty close. As long as he gets a good exit, it's really
He
tough
did not.
to get it up. Yeah, it's really tough to get it out of that corner. You need a good exit and your rival to get a bad one. And then you need to dump all your ERS still to have a chance.
And
to
probably still send it into send about anyway.
yeah, you
It's
have to
a Schrodinger's passing zone, as I usually call it.
He is there. I would say this would be the place you can make your move, but that's where he lost time.
Yeah, this is the safest place. Rascas can also work, but that's really
A little bit more
dependent too
aggressive.
on how you exit the swimming pool, and that's not been super well for most of the grid here today.
Now, Aston Lewis has already drained all the battery, which no one else has really done besides Bill Nowak is at 50%, but everybody else is in the 90s, and then Aston Lewis is at 0. Now, that probably won't matter in the grand scheme of things, but I'm not sure. There's a big gap from him to Darius. I don't know why that is. I guess just straight up pace.
Well, Aston has been dumping that. He's probably been going awfully fast.
Yeah.
Darius probably not also able to focus a whole lot on his driving because he has that Alpine filling his mirrors.
Yeah, that would definitely be the first train of thought, is try to dump a little bit of ERS. If you feel you're faster, and then you can break the DRS of the Alpine. Yeah, that gap has been growing pretty fast, though. So whatever the Mercedes is on, pretty good pace.
I mean, he was the pole sitter for a reason. There's Logan Cool getting his penalty.
6 seconds now. Yeah, besides all the stuff that happened at the start, this race has been not too crazy.
So you've made about as much action as anybody else has, other than the fool in the Aston Martin.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad.
I'm surprised none of the DNFs have caused a safety car yet, to be honest. Especially here, where there isn't exactly a whole lot of track width to avoid a stricken car.
Stats has caught up some to Logan Poole, and then Bill Nowak is catching up to Matthew Stotts. I'm not sure if we'll see a pass from James and Darius. It seems like it's been the same thing for many laps at this point.
Yeah, it's been a tug of
Stotts
war.
is catching Logan pretty fast. Logan does not have wing damage. He's just naturally the slower car. Brassgas dive. Oh, and there's contact.
Not a whole lot of space for her, that's for sure. Logan, I don't really
didn't
think
leave
was aware of
any
Stott's
room.
existence.
Yeah, I believe not. Looks like no damage on the McLaren.
Because he had a chance to pit if he got it, so...
Dive. Oh!
Logan breaks
will
incredibly
break.
early, and it gets the reverse effect.
Oh, man. Yeah, Logan just has an earlier braking zone, and Bill runs into him, unfortunately. So, for our front row, one is doing incredibly well with a 12-second gap, and the other one is in last place on track, having to pit like 3 times.
Well, he's overtaken Logan even with half a wing.
I think Logan just felt bad at that point.
No, we'll go with that.
So they're fairly spaced out now. The difference between first and last, I think, is about a minute. If I had to guess with the intervals.
You can look at the detail, or you can just change the gap to say leader.
To leader. Yeah, so it is 59 seconds, so very close. So he will have to lap some people soon, because there's a few people in the 50-second range, and then everybody else seems to be, 30 seconds, 10 seconds behind.
Yeah, I think about a minute 10, minute 12 will be the lap down range. Because Matthew Stotts has retired in the pits.
Oh. At that point, just called it quits. Probably had a damaged wing again. Disappointing day for him. Probably not too happy with that. So these top 4. Oh, the Mercedes is going incredibly slow. I think he was trying to avoid hitting the wall. Wait, is that a safety car?
No?
So the Mercedes
He's
is
just
in the
pitting
pits.
in.
He was going insanely slow out of the chicane, getting a wing change. I assume that's why.
So, critical mistake for the leader, who pretty much had everything in hand, and now he's got
James
wing
is
damage.
trying not to get undercut, I think. Darius
He
is
got
staying
damage.
out.
He was fixing his wing. Darius is just home free. He's pushing his ERS. He's going as fast as those 10-lap-old softs can take him.
The only thing I can think is a positive for Darius is he might have some people blocking for him. Oh, Jamie Knock almost clears Aston Lewis, but does not. That one was unfortunate. So the undercut somewhat worked, because he had 3-lap like fresher tires and almost got there. I mean, a wing change helps too. But James is behind this Ferrari, so we'll see how much the Ferrari holds up.
I also think there was a role to be played with the fact that I think everybody that's pit so far has had to change their wing, so...
Yeah, I think the only people that really haven't slammed the wall are the people you see 1 and 2 right now.
This is going to be a very expensive weekend for our ARC Formula Series, let me tell you what.
Now let's see if this... Oh, so Darius comes into pit. We'll see if the Alpine does as well as the Mercedes all around him.
Probably should.
Dive. Does not, but leaves the space. And tries to box in front of the Ferrari. Oh, that was almost something bad. So Darius is on hard tires while everybody else is on mediums. Darius will come out fighting with the Alpine. Oh, no, the Alpine is also in the pits. So P4 for Darius. Not planning to pit at all from here on out.
And of course, watch the oversteer with the hard tires. They get a little finicky when you're getting on the gas.
Ooh, and like you said, saves it! What a save! No damage from Darius. No hitting the wall. Well, as soon as you said something with the oversteered onto Casino Square and was drifting back and forth and then held the brakes and didn't hit the wall. So, a very costly save for Darius. It could have been very bad. New wing. Put the mediums on. Maybe he's not very confident in those tires. But so good save from the McLaren. Battle between the Ferrari and James Sands. Jimmy Knock. He got a little loose coming out of the hairpin.
James versus James, technically, just a nickname.
Oh, and that seems like there's a little bit of a wall tap from the Ferrari. James just needs very good traction in that final corner. Not very much, and yeah, Mercedes masterclass.
Just like real life.
Lewis Hamilton in there.
Just pauses the game and the AI takes over, so it basically is Lewis Hamilton.
So Bill made it back up to Logan.
We might have a pass for P2 here. Sands got a huge run through Casino Square. They're going to go too wide through the only real passing zone on the circuit, and that's the move done for that Alpine driver.
Ferrari lets him through. Good move. Lost a decent amount of time to the leader, though. So if you really have any hopes of winning, you kind of just need him to make a mistake now.
Well, again, we're talking about Monaco, so odds are decently high.
And while that move happened, the Ferrari second on track was able to pass Logan Cole for P6. So one Ferrari goes down, one Ferrari goes up, I suppose.
Net loss, because of championship points, but, you know.
Yeah.
Silver lining and everything and all that. And then the Ferrari goes way down into the pits.
Now, these were only 5-lap-old mediums, so you have to assume there was some damage from the contact. And there's another wing being put up.
Yeah, there wasn't contact between him and Sands. I think it was probably afterward. He was probably...
It might have been from the wall. So that puts Darius into P3 on the podium. The Ferrari will come up P4. I don't think there'll be any pressure from this Alpine. It looks too far behind. And yeah. So they're kind of gapped pretty evenly. There's at least like a 3-second gap between each person on the grid. Actually, 5-second gap. So now we just get to spectate a random driver and see if they crash. I think for a debut, Logan's been pretty good.
Other than potentially running into both Stotts and Nowak.
Not showing too much pace, but has stayed off the wall.
He's not going fast enough to hit it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of, I guess that's kind of what you're hoping for out of a debut, is to not die. Like if you keep it here, And I feel like that's alright. And at least P7 right now, if they can make it through to the end of the race. So I would say that's a W. Now the hard tire runners seem to be, I mean, losing time now, but they'll eventually get it back. But Bill's just behind slower cars, so he is catching the Alpine and maybe his teammate. I think that's been about the same. And then Darius has lost a bunch of time to the leader, and I think not as much to James.
Just cough like a maniac there.
Yeah, I think Darius is probably losing at this moment like half a second a lap to James and like a second a lap to the leader. And speaking of the leader, he is going up on Logan Poole in the third sector, and Logan stops and lets him through. Good lap car.
I'm mostly keeping the camera on Jamie Knock because, I mean, no offense to him, but the way that his car has been handling in this race, if I was going to pick somebody who would crash next, it's probably him. His car has been really unhappy on corner exits, and one of these times he's not going to be ready for it. I'm just thinking in my head.
He's been catching a decent amount. I think when he had to pit, I think it was from the swimming pool chicane. It was on the exit. I think he hopped the curb, hit the wall.
And heaven knows I'm very good at jinxing Ferrari drivers, so...
You are indeed.
Although that wasn't a different league, but... Yeah, the concept stands.
Yeah, I do see what you're saying. He seems... I think probably the way to combat that is just short shifting a little bit more, just so you don't have to put so much power output. And like you said, in qualifying, I think you said, was to adjust the differential if you're having problems with spinning the tires, then that is always something to help. The next person to be lapped might be Bill Noah, unless someone else pits or crashes or something like that. But the leader is not too far. Leader's in swimming pool and Bill's on this.
Jimmy has found Logan in the downhill section, so that's possibly the worst place to do that at.
Yep. Fortunately for him, no wing damage results from that. Yeah, not a very good place to catch. Darius is still about... Oh, that was a wall tap at a swimming pool game.
Swimming pool?
Is that... yeah, words. Doesn't look like damage, no side pod's gone, and that'd be the thing that I would think you would lose if you hit the wall there. Ran a 115. I feel like that's okay on hards, because they don't really grip until like, probably 10 to go.
I don't think they ever grip, it's just that they lose...
The mediums lose so much.
Yes, and the softs, heaven forbid.
Yeah, I mean, that might be what you do. If you're in the Mercedes, right, and you pull like a 25-second gap, I mean, is it worth it to just try to have an even faster lap?
It's worth it just to have extra grip. If you can make it onto the... If you can go onto the soft tires, if it's convenient, you may as well do it, just for the sake of the confidence that you'll be less likely to spin out.
Because that's what the pace looks like. The pace looks like he will have enough room to make another pit stop. Probably by about like lap 30. And Darius is somewhat like kept the gap at a standstill between him and James, so maybe they're somewhat evening out. I don't think they would do that until about lap 11, so maybe he just has a little bit more pace. Jamie Knight gets a time penalty. James sets a 1:14.5, and I want to see what Darius sets, because that's probably almost the closest gap. Either that or the Ferrari and the Alpine. Yeah, so Darius is still losing time, it's just not as much. So I'm assuming, oh, there's someone catching Logan, I think. Oh no, he just got passed by the Alpine. So next up would be Bill Noack to lap Logan Poole for, I think, they're passing for like a third time.
Which would mean that Logan would be a whole lap down from the entire remaining field.
He might get up at the leader at some point soon. He's only like 20 seconds ahead. And Darius gets another time penalty. I think that means he has 6 seconds penalties. And he does. Jamie Knock has 9. Bill Nowak has 6 or 3, and then Logan Paul has 6. And in interval, no one is within 6 seconds of each other, both sides, a leader and a lap. And speaking of laps, Bill is only a few corners ahead of the leader. I think Bill definitely has, like, he has pretty good pace. It's just been unfortunate that he's met the wall and some other cars a few times.
He almost met the wall through the swimming pool there.
He did, that was very sketch. Yeah, like I said, most of these guys have evened out. They're all about 10 seconds apart. So it makes it a pretty boring job up here in the booth.
Yeah. This is about what I was fearing with Monaco. It was either going to be an absolute, like,
I still
death.
think in F1 it's going to be like that for sure. With the field being just about full, maybe even full, I think you'll see just a bunch of death there.
Yeah, Monaco is either a war of attrition, or everyone gets super spread out and nobody wants to drive fast and push themselves because they don't want to crash. But either way, it becomes very hard to commentate because there's nothing happening right now in this latter context, but in a race where it's just everyone dies, it's really hard to take seriously and commentate like it's an actual Formula 1 race because that doesn't really happen in real life Formula 1.
Everybody does not die. Spoiler alert. So, Aston Lewis is catching Logan Cool, who was going through swimming pools like this one section, and then Bill Nowak is on the final corner. So, some lap traffic to deal with in the somewhat near future. And another thing that is happening is Jamina is somewhat catching Dario Ludo. It's to an 8-second gap. So there's some catching going on as Logan Cool lets Aston Lewis through. But it's not an insane amount. I should take that back. Does Darius have somewhat of... Oh! I think Darius has wing damage. Yeah, he has no right end plate, and I think he knocked off his left end plate. That he is definitely going to have to pit for some mediums. And he almost spins on the wall of the second to last corner. But Jamie Knock does get a position up to P3, up to the podium spot. And I'm not sure if this will be enough time for the Alpine driver of Harley Collins to get in to 4th place.
It doesn't seem like it will be, no.
But that does shake some things up. I guess he just made a mistakes, and probably in the chicane.
Oh, actually it'll be closer. Oh no, he is gonna get him.
And the Alpine jumps the McLaren. Very close. This will be a battle we're watching, because I think Darius has more speed than Harley, and even if he really didn't,
tires.
the fact that he's on fresh tires, yeah, is definitely going to matter.
And even if he didn't, tires.
And the question is, where do you try to make a move? That would be probably your main spot. Wasn't able to get there in time. Oh, there's slight contact. I don't think that's damage. It didn't seem hard enough.
No, there may not even have been contact on one of their screens, so it's hard to say for sure.
ERS deployment from Darius and ERS deployment from Harley stopped using. Chicane, they're side by side. Contacts. And he pushes him off the track. I don't think he had room.
No, I mean that's the sort of catch-22 with the pass through that chicane is that's literally not even wide enough for 2 cars.
Definitely not. Yeah, they tried. And Darius does make a pass. Penalty may or may not stand. Not sure on that one. But Bill Nowak, I think, just got into the wall. I was gonna say he's getting into this battle, but he might have just thrown it into a wall. No, he stays out, so I think he's alright. So there will be a battle for 4th, maybe. Or at least a battle for 5th.
Yeah, I think Collins is already losing sight of that McLaren.
Yeah, I think Bill might have gotten to a wall. I really do think so. He looks
We
really
just saw
slow
Collins
in
get
some of
into
the
a wall.
corners.
I don't know if that did any damage, but...
I don't see any end plates gone, but there could just be other wing damage.
Miscellaneous damage.
Yeah, but that usually is the first sign that you got damage. There is the leader going into the hairpin right now. So Bill is about to be lapped. He could use this to his advantage if he's able to get pulled somewhat, like if he lets him through right before the DRS straight. And he could get propelled up to Harley, and then when Harley has to let Aston Lewis go, he could try to make a pass.
Yeah, he would, in theory, have the pace to stay near-ish to that Mercedes. Obviously,
Yeah,
he's the
I'm
second.
not aware of how close you could on the hard tires, but I don't know how that is. But I'm not aware of how close you could stay on the hard tires.
Well, the mediums will be wearing out soon, so...
Sector 2.
That's Logan.
Logan let through the Alp. No, what is that? Oh, that's James. That is an Alpine. Yeah, Darius is gone. We kind of assumed that would happen, though. And the Ferrari is starting to catch the Alpine of Harley. And Logan did go 2 laps down. I could possibly see 3 or 4 happening at this rate. He's running like 122s, 123s. And here is the leader coming up on 6th place. And then 6th place is catching 5th place. So there's any sort of fighting will happen here. I think Bill is in a pretty good position to let him through, like, and Raskas like go wide. Because he's close enough to where you can do that now, I think. It depends on how much he cares in swimming pool.
He's not really close enough to do that through the swimming pool right now anyway. He might not even be getting... Oh no, is he getting blue flags? I can't even... Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's probably going to let him through on the straightaway then, if I assume.
Or are you just gonna pit in?
Oh, he pits. Do you go... You have to go for mediums here, right? I don't think it's close enough for softs.
You know you cannot do that.
Yeah.
Well,
Dead
that's
tires.
a big maybe, but it would be a very big chance to be taking on softs, so he's not doing that.
He's putting on the mediums. That leaves the Alpine with some sort of breathing room, a decent amount. We'll see how much the pace difference is. Maybe he's trying to grab the fastest lap, but like I said, if you're the Mercedes, you can just come back and grab it, put on some soft tires. You have 27 seconds worth of a gap as you're catching up to the Alpine of Harley Davidson. This is probably we're gonna let through. Clean pass, no damage, no nothing. Now Darius is the next one that would be let through. He's going through swimming pool right now, and they're going up to the chicane. Surprised I've seen no one clip that wall, like going into the chicane, the one that juts out a little bit.
Yeah, even when Darius and Collins were too wide through, they didn't hit that.
That's what I was expecting.
Same here. Yeah, that was like, these two are going to crash into that wall. There's no way. And they're going to take each other out. And there's going to finally be something that happens, but no. We don't get anything.
Thing that's happening is Logan getting his 12 seconds up at least. Yeah, this is a masterclass from Mercedes. I don't know if I don't think I've seen him do this really yet. And this is quite a good show. Very good pace. Very consistent pace is the more important thing. I hit the wall I think once, and then had to hit about the time for his pit stop. And then since then has been really on it. Now another thing to talk about is if Jamie Knock and Darius do end up battling, they aren't even on time penalties. That could be something. It seemed like Darius was catching, but it seems to be about the same. Sector 2, Sector 3 yellow, that is Logan letting through. That is the Mercedes thing. Yeah, he's now 3 laps down. What is the rule for you to like get points? Like how far do you have to go in the race?
75% distance. Which she's done.
Yeah. Yeah, be doing some of that math and just dipping off as soon as I could.
Well, I don't even know if we enforce that in the same way because
I'm not
well,
sure.
we give points to DNF'd cars if they don't.
Okay, so Bill did end up setting a faster lap. So yeah, I think if you're the Mercedes, just come and put on softs, unless you really don't like them and you don't want to throw away your like 30-second lead. Then you don't have to. But I feel like at this point you want like the is it the Grand Slam? Isn't that what it is when you get pole and lead all the laps and fast lap? Is that there's a name for it. I'm not certain about it.
I think it is.
Yeah, I feel like you want to win everything at this point. You're like, let me just get that fastest lap too. Let me steal that back real quick. And I have no idea what this gap is between the Alpine and the Ferrari. It seems like probably like 15 seconds. 108, 109. Yeah, that's just above 15 seconds. Actually, it's 10 seconds. Not as far. And Harley's in for a wing change / new tires, put on softs. So Bill will make the pass without having to fight the Alpine, which is the ideal way to do it. Now, could the Alpine catch on the softs? Maybe, but it's a pretty big gap. You know, I feel like that'll be when we see our crash. I think we'll see a crash on the soft tires. Something tells me. And speaking of which, the other Alpine came in the pits and put on soft tires as well.
Everyone just trying to mandate it at this point. James was like, well, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it.
That propels Jamie Knock up into second. And now, if you're the Mercedes, you have a minute gap. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Could you lap everybody? At this rate, maybe. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. Is he's trying to lap the field. I feel like that'd be more impressive than getting
a fastest lap.
Yeah. At that point, we'd give you the trophy already. Now, if James does mess up, Darius is only 4 seconds behind. So, while you definitely have the faster tire now, and you're off of that old medium sector 1 yellow that's loaded.
Yep.
So, like I said, while you're on that faster tire, and it definitely feels good, I feel like it's a lot easier to mess up because you automatically start pushing harder. I think James is probably going for a fastest lap attempt, but I'd be careful because you could just not get that spot back that you gave up for these tires. Yeah, that's the main thing too, is that you're at Monaco. Like, you're doing this and you're at Monaco. You have to pass that person, like, actually, like, on track. And Darius does come down for the pits, will get lapped, puts on soft tires, I believe, as well. Oh no, those are mediums that are getting put on. I don't think he did that on purpose.
That or he just literally had no soft tires remaining, which seems also unlikely.
Yeah, I think he only made 3 pit stops, which...
And I don't think any of them have been onto softs, because it's not like at any point...
to hards to mediums, and I think James might be in the wall, very close, if not. I think he's holding it through, doesn't look like he has any damage. Still catching Jamie Knock, but the question is, how do you pass? That's the big thing, because even if he gets to him, his tires won't be as good as they are now. And I
think he definitely will get to him.
The question is, how do you pass? Oh, he might. Oh, wait. Yeah, he doesn't have time penalties, so I guess if he holds on to there, he should be alright. Oh, Jamie has 9 seconds. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't really think that's even a question of the matter.
Yeah.
So here comes the lap from Sands. It's not faster, not fast enough for the fastest lap. That was redundant.
Bill ran a 12 flat, and that was a 12.3. Does anybody have the room besides the leader to do that? James could go in and put on another set of softs if he really wanted to, but at that point he's giving him second.
Yeah, and that's gaining 1 point, but losing 3 to Jamie.
You might not even get that point back. Considering I think that lap may have had some cuts in it. but it was very fast. And it's for race day standards. Bill, everybody has the people in the back have the fuel light on. That is a 12-second sub penalties.
Yeah, everyone. I think it was even said in the chat. Everyone under fuel because we'll probably get a safety car. Except, then we proceeded to not get a safety car somehow, some way.
So we'll run through with the people with their fuel light on. Is Jamie Knock, Harley Collins, Bill Nowak, and then that is it for the runners. So those guys are 5th, 6th, and 2nd on track. I would definitely not want to run out of fuel.
Oh,
you
think?
That takes a decent amount unless you like short shift really badly. So you have to be careful. I definitely wouldn't have underfueled because I would rather have more fuel than I need than less fuel than I need. And I don't like saving here. So yeah, I'm kind of bamboozled on why they did that. But it's okay.
Because they figured we'd have safety cars, but the game seemed reluctant to deploy any.
James is on Jamie Knox's bumper. He has no ERS though. So
What
I don't
bumper?
Think he can really make him. Exactly. NASCAR times. Okay, sector 3. I think that's Logan letting someone through again. It is.
Jamie
back
just
to the battle at hand.
Jamie just like hip checked the outside wall of that chicane. Forced Sands to either slam the brakes or slam the Ferrari.
Oh.
Sands hits the wall. I don't know if that's damage. It was kind of hitting away.
M plate's still existent, so I think
he's not
okay.
pitting, so he must not think it's very much, at the very least.
He's not. I don't think he's pitting from here on unless he kills his wing. And that is, I think, an Alpine. Or no, that's Logan in the pits. Yes, I think. Oh, Bill Nowak has no wing.
Well, that seems like a potential issue. I think I actually just saw that wing as the drivers went through T1.
Okay. So then it might not be from... I think he might have just hit the wall. There's a Sector 1 yellow. That's Logan coming out on track.
Yeah, that was Logan getting out of the Mercedes' way. Again.
Yeah, now, if you're James, do you really try to force the issue? Like, first is a minute off at this point, and Bill is trying to get back... No, he's trying to get back.
Knock is just let Sands go, actually.
That might be for the best, I guess. I mean, there's no point in trying to ruin your entire, like, 40 minutes of work in one corner.
Yeah, not stress himself.
Yeah, because if you've got pressure, it's not really worth it. Especially when you know you have 12 seconds of time penalties and you have old tires. Now, the old tires part, if you just had that, you could definitely hold them up, but not those time penalties. There's actually no point.
I know there's definitely people in this league that would do it anyway, just for the sake of it, but...
And this lapping the whole field thing is actually possible. They are 9 seconds into a new lap, and he just started this. And I believe this means that that Bill is 2 laps down. He is. So Bill is behind the leader. I mean, he's not really going to do anything because he doesn't have much to gain. He's a full 36 seconds behind his next car. 32 seconds, so doesn't make too much of a difference. I'm just more interested to see if the Mercedes can actually lap everybody. That's what this has turned into.
I do not think he'll be able to get James Sands. He'll probably get Knock, but Sands will have those soft tires that'll keep him just away.
Yeah, he'll get Knock on just penalties at this moment alone, but probably
well, that's not really how that works.
Well, yeah, I know. Oh, Knock in the wall.
Well, that's not gonna help him.
Had the thing that you said with the overcorrection. No in-plate off somehow. But yeah, just going out of turn 1, put on the power too early, overcorrected, and then just tap the wall. You think this guy's fast?
Huh.
Mercedes? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to really say, you know?
Oh yeah. Really close battle between him and this Ferrari, huh? I wonder if he'll let him through. Probably not.
I mean, to reach a certain point, we won't have a choice in the matter. Thus, he obtains yet another time penalty for his troubles.
Yeah, watch out for the walls, Jamie. Just bring it home. Keep your podium.
Current objective, survive.
Okay, it'd probably be letting him through on the straight. Oh, he goes in the... They're both going to the pits.
Well, so much for lapping the field.
Yeah, just lap everyone except second place. I think that works too. Jamie is getting a wing change, so he will lap Jamie in the pits. Which I can't say I've seen that before.
Always something new here in Ark.
Darius is coming out of the final corner, and Jamie is coming out of the pits. Could this... Oh, this might... Darius jumps him and has less penalties than him, so if he can stay ahead, he'll have the position actually, like on merit. I don't know if Jamie saw that one coming, to be honest. I don't think he thought that him pitting would result in him actually losing the spot.
Well, now he's got to take it back. It's at least on track. Give the commentators something to talk about. Keep me awake here.
Yeah, he has to get it on track. He has more penalties, so that's his only chance, is to get the gap and pull away. Now Darius isn't on... That's probably Logan, yeah. Darius isn't on old mediums. They're 6 laps old. Now, they probably weren't the ones that he wanted, but in this scenario, they might be fresher than softs. Do you think we're going to see a big dive bomb out of the Ferrari?
I would say it's 50-50. On any other track, I'd have said yes. Loose. But at Monaco, I don't think he may not even get the chance.
I feel like he might not wait for a chance, if you get what I'm saying. I think I'm seeing a big dive bomb in this future for Ferrari. I don't know why, I just feel like he really wants the chance to get the spot, actually. So I think it's going to be pretty aggressive. Oh, that looks like a wall. No end plate gone. No end plate gone from the Ferrari, but yeah.
That looked like a wall. Well, I don't know what else it would have been.
Up on the bumper of the McLaren. Might start
what
pushing
bumper?
through the corners at this point. Oh, the back. You understand.
Diffuser, gearbox, rear wing.
Okay, alright. I get your point. He is up to the diffuser of the McLaren on the ERS. Oh, they're gonna go too wide. Oh, that's damage. And that is damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah. So, you know what you said earlier, just too much wheel spin all the time is what hurts Jamie not and his podium chances. And
there's a 10-8. That's a qual. That would have been That would have been pole in qualifying.
Yeah, at least top 2 rows. That's pretty good pace.
He had pole by 2/200ths over Bill with that lap.
So now, yeah, I think Jamie just wants to ride it out, hope for some stuff to happen. See, that's what I was saying earlier. If you come in a box for softs, like, they are faster, but you're more on edge. And that, unfortunately, he learned that lesson. I think he was just trying to get fast slap. He ended up losing the spot. Unfortunate, so. There is a yellow for people going through the hairpin. Is there a chance for anybody to pass on penalties? Yeah, no. Harley Collins is out of fuel. The Alpine is out of gas. He is red and on low fuel mode going at 80 miles an hour. Is anyone else like this?
Not yet.
Yeah, he is. No, he is. He could get passed back by Logan. Very low chance, but a chance. And the only other person in this predicament is Jamie Knock, who is red on the fuel.
He just got a random 10-second penalty for, I guess.
I'm not aware what he did, but the Alpine got something similar. and is out of ERS and out of gas, going 90. See, this is what happens if you underfuel. Now, his teammate might get a chance to pass him. He's only 40 seconds back, which, yeah, only, but... We're on the final lap. And Harley is in the chicane. I don't know if anybody else is in this predicament besides these two. Oh, his teammate is. Both Ferraris actually are out of fuel.
We're just going to ignore the fuel crisis for a moment and, you know, take note of Aston Lewis's
masterclass of a race.
He better be reserving an F2, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, coming out of the final corner, that is a... Oh, and he's...
Look at you, yeah.
But that is a dominant win. You got the time.
Could have probably stopped and had a bite to eat at one of the crazy expensive diners here.
Now, I think it'll end. Will it end Darius' race here? He passes the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will. So he takes home third. Pretty good. Good recovery, at least, for 3 pit stops.
Harvey's cruising for a disqualification, apparently. He and Knock.
James is going to bring it home second, even if he crashes. So, good job from him. Jamie Knock is bringing it home P4. Right onto the final corner. Yeah, the fuel was a problem. They lost a lot of time. So that is something to look out for maybe in the future races, maybe in the FT races. Watch out for people underfueling their cars. And everybody is done except for James and Bill. So James with a really clean race, no penalties, no incidents. He didn't really get into anything, and that's P2. Good job. And then
Nowak survives.
Nowak. He survives, but definitely does not thrive, and that is P5. Right.
Look at you over here looking like Lil Wayne or something.
If you can go ahead and round out our grid here.
McGill is given driver of the day, but I think in reality, if you were to give it to anybody other than the guy that won by an entire minute, he would be delusional. As this like 18 FPS winning ceremony plays.
3 different manufacturers appear. Pretty boring Monaco race minus a few things, but really good pace. So that is the main thing. The pace was insane, and it's pretty fun commentating. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, I know. I just gotta realize I gotta do this 2 more times.
The Iron Man of Monaco.
Yeah, that's what I called it earlier. The commentary Iron Man.
That sounds fun.
Especially trying to redeem it from last week, where I was supposed to do that and it got cut off on me.
Yeah. Hopefully this one goes better. Yeah. I'll see you. Or you'll see me on track at least.
Yeah, now it's your job. You gotta make that more. You gotta make your race more entertaining than this one.
I might, but for the wrong reasons.
Oh, well, we could use some crashing in AF2. We didn't really get a whole lot of it here, to be honest. We had whatever that Aston Martin was, and then we had a DNF from the AlphaTauri I didn't see, and then Stotts retired in the pit lane. So that will do it for the Monaco Grand Prix of AF3. In about, I would say, what, half an hour's time, join me once again, and probably some other co-commentator, for the exact same thing, but with slightly faster drivers.